Okay, cool. Yeah, so just quick background on me. I worked at a marketing agency where we mostly focus on like growth stage brands, startups, mostly in e-commerce, and we mostly use Facebook ads to help them scale. After that, I worked at a consulting firm, and we help like nonprofits acquire donors, like basically raise money for donations, push some policy change, and gain activists. For that one, I worked with some pretty large brands like Planned Parenthood, National Geographic. So they spend like insane amount of money on ads.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm working on an e-commerce startup that I'm a part owner of. We mostly sell home wall decor.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Facebook ads. The first question is like, is it right for you? Yeah, I mean, that definitely depends. But first of all, you definitely need a good product and a website that's optimized, that is converting well. I've seen so many brands and clients that I work with kind of just fully rely on ads like right when they start, and they end up just wasting a ton of money because their conversion rate is so bad. Like if you're sending tons of traffic to your site with the conversion rate and the site is not optimized well, it's just not going to lead to good performance. But if you already do have a good conversion rate and you kind of just have a good working model, then Facebook ads is great for you to scale that up. You just basically pour money into that funnel. It does very well. It's also really good if you already have a good amount of past purchasers, so you can create lookalike audiences. I'll get more into what lookalike audiences are, but that's Facebook's like one of their most powerful features. Also, you need to be willing to spend money and test. And also, how much you need to spend depends on your cost per action. A lot of times for startups, you might not know that, so you really just need to be able to have some budget to test. By the way, if you ever have any questions, you can just stop me, right? Like just stop me mid-sentence. We'll just keep it pretty open. So yeah, if you decide to start, the first thing you want to do is install a Facebook pixel on your site. Pixel is basically a tracking code that tracks what users do when they reach your site. So they'll track, when someone adds their email, initiates checkout, purchases, and basically makes their optimizations based on the pixel. So the pixel is like super necessary. If you're not using a pixel, like you're not going to get good performance.
So it's like Google Analytics for Facebook, right? It's like, you can say that way?
Kind of, yeah. It is analytics too. Like Facebook also has its own analytics. Yeah, it's similar, like the tracking code you'd put on Google Analytics is also similar to the pixel you put on Facebook. But there's one more thing, like with the ads and campaigns, they optimize based off the data they get from the pixel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like an analytics tool, it's also the way Facebook ads optimizes is by using the pixel data. So like the more days you run the campaign, the more data the pixel has, the stronger your ads will be, is the higher performance you'll have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just basic general tips on how to do well with Facebook ads. That's assuming that you already have a good product and a good website that's optimized to convert. One thing I see a lot of beginners make a mistake is, so in the ad set level, so I'm not going to give like specific how to do everything in this one, because I think if you ever need to know like how to install a pixel, you can quickly just go YouTube it. There's already tons and tons of videos for like how to do stuff on Facebook ads. I'll just give you like more general best practices. So at the ad set level, you can choose what you want the campaign to optimize towards. A lot of people, beginners, they think they want more traffic, so they optimize for traffic, when the end goal that they really want is to get a purchase. So if you want someone to go on your website and end up purchasing, you want to optimize for purchases. Otherwise, you could optimize for traffic, so Facebook will get you a lot of cheap traffic, but they're not going to be traffic that's going to convert. So like Facebook will basically find a ton of people that just like click on sites but never end up buying anything. So you want to optimize for your conversion goal. So most of the time that's going to be like purchase, or maybe it'll be leads. So if it's purchase, you want to in the ad set settings, you want to optimize it for purchases.
So basically, Facebook, if you place an ad, and if you are optimizing it for traffic, the Facebook algorithm basically gives you all the traffic that comes your way. They don't filter as to the purchase history and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, they'll basically optimize to find traffic at the lowest cost. But if you want to get purchases at lowest cost, be optimizing for purchases. Otherwise, Facebook will send you a bunch of just cheap traffic, but they're not like qualified traffic. They're not traffic that's like likely to convert. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sometimes you might want to optimize for a lower conversion event. So by that I mean instead of purchase, maybe add to cart. Because Facebook works on past pixel data. So maybe if you don't have a lot of purchases, typically for an ad set to be fully optimized, you want to get over 50 conversions. So maybe your ad set isn't getting to that amount. So maybe you want to optimize for add to carts instead, like a lower conversion event, because you're likely to get higher volume of that. And then once you're getting enough volume where the ad set is optimized, and what I mean optimized in Facebook, there's a thing called a learning phase. So when you first launch an ad set, it's going to be automatically into the learning phase. But once it gets enough conversion data, it's going to get out of learning phase and just become a normal ad set. Like won't be fully optimized. It'll continue to be optimized, but it'll be like pretty much fully optimized. So if you're not getting enough purchase data, basically it will tell you that your ad set is still in the learning phase. So you might want to convert it to optimize for add to carts. So then when you do get enough add to cart data, then you could always switch it to purchase, to optimize for purchase. Cool. And then audience targeting. So lookalike audiences are by far Facebook's like most powerful audience tool. So let's say you have a past purchaser list of, ideally you need at least 100 people in the seed list. Ideally you want to get 1,000 people. Let's say you have 1,000 plus purchasers. You put that list into Facebook, and then Facebook will create an audience that looks as close to as possible as the seed list. So if you're making a purchaser lookalike, Facebook will basically create a audience that will look, that are like, they'll find other people that are so similar to your audience that you gave it. And it's just by far the most powerful audience tool. Because otherwise you can create audiences within Facebook. They're called interest-based audiences. Like you can target people that are interested in like so many different things. Maybe someone interested in basketball, someone interested in whatever, whatever your customer is. But if you just give it the seed list, Facebook has all this, back just data that it has that it'll just find the similarities for you, and it's just way more powerful. There's nothing about the interest-based audiences. Facebook gives you options on who to target, but it doesn't give you all the options that it has. Like Facebook has just so much more data that it's not showing us, that it's not giving us the option to target. But that's where lookalike comes in, because you can just give it the seed list and it'll create the lookalike audience. It won't tell you what the similarities are. It's just called a lookalike audience, and basically Facebook will just find people that are so similar to your purchasers. You can also use, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex. So does Facebook give you an option of targeting members of a particular group or a community?
So right now you can't target other groups. You can't target other pages either. You can target people that are interested in stuff. So usually if a page or group is big enough, like Nike, for example, you can target people that are interested in Nike. But right now you can't directly target people that have liked or followed a page or liked or followed a group.
Okay.
Yeah. But so you don't need to just make a purchase lookalike. You could also make a website visitors lookalike. So if you don't have enough purchase data, like you don't have at least 100 purchasers, you can use your website visitors. So they'll be based on the pixel. So once your pixel is installed, Facebook will track all the visitors, and you can make a lookalike off that. So Facebook will find more people that are most similar to people that have already went on your site, which will also be a pretty good audience. And you can make like infinite amount of lookalikes. You can make like add to cart lookalikes, lookalikes based on like the time people spent on the site. So you can target people that are spent the most time on your site and make a lookalike based off that. There's just so many options. But if you do already have pixel data or purchase data, lookalike audiences will typically be your best performing audience. Once you're really scaling up those audiences, then maybe you can move into interest-based or demographic audiences, and eventually you might even want to just do broad audiences. So actually, broad audiences are actually becoming more and more powerful. Broad audience is basically when you just set
to audience targeting to basically just a location. Like maybe you set it just the entire United States, or maybe put in a little targeting, like maybe target all males between a certain age in the United States, which is going to be, an insane amount of people. And normally you would think that wouldn't make any sense, but just giving more options to Facebook on how to optimize, like giving it a bigger audience, Facebook, the ad set will just get better and better, and eventually it would just perform just really well. If you put in enough spend onto it, it'll basically self-optimize, and you won't actually need to put any audience targeting. You just basically just keep it open. Once you definitely also want to create remarketing audiences. If you've had past visitors, especially if you're just starting off, that's probably, if you want to get into ads, it's probably like the best use of your money will be with remarketing audiences. Those are people that have already been on your site, already expressed interest. So you definitely would want to set that up first. And then of course, if you're also setting up the cold audiences, once people who see those ads of cold audiences, like people who've never heard of you before, then after they click on that ad, then they'll see the remarketing ads. And you definitely want to change up like the messaging on that. I'll get more into that a little bit later.
Alex, one more question. So if you cannot, set your ads based on, members of a particular community or a page that they like, can you at least, use the people who follow your page as the target audience or lookalike audience?
Yeah. Yep. You can create a lookalike based off your own page. Basically, any type of information you own, like your page, even your group, you can make a lookalike, and you can also just directly target them.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. And page engagers, lookalikes, always typically is a very good audience too.
Because it's very focused audience, right? For example, NomadGao, if I have to, target digital nomads, there are only few ways, because a lot of people, they're interested in being digital nomads, but they are not. And those are not the quality audience for placing the ads, because.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link I'll do that real quickly right now. There's a tool called Audience Insights, and you can basically play around in it and see all the different audiences Facebook has. So this would be, if you're not using likes, you can use this tool to figure out some audiences you can target. I'll just throw that right here. I included a link to the slides also in the Zoom chat. So if you want to go back to the slides and get these links, you can just do that. Another key to Facebook ads is just testing. You want to test different audiences, different ads. Really just always need to keep testing. A lot of times, ads that you think might not do good will end up doing good, and ads you think should do good end up not doing good. So it's really all about testing. Not necessary, but very helpful is to create a promotion, like a sales. For our e-commerce brand, having a sales is basically a huge part of our strategy. We say limited time sale. Basically makes people think, they don't want to lose a sale. It's a great opportunity, good value. So they go for it right now. Just have to be careful with that, depending on what you sell, because sometimes if it's something that people will buy often, you probably don't want to use too many sales, because then people will only purchase when you have a sale. But if it's something that you maybe sell once or not very often, then I think having a sale is a really good strategy. One of our competitors, actually, they do a sales strategy where their site is always 60% off. Like all their products are 60% off. And they basically blow that up in their ads saying, limited time offer, our products are on sale for 60% off. And the 60% off seems like a huge amount. But it's not actually 60% off. That's just like they're making it seem like it's 60% off just to have people see the perceived value of getting that offer right away. It's definitely a useful strategy. It's something you just want to be careful of, because you could make your audience only buy from you when you have a sale, and it could be like a slippery slope, but it really depends on your product.
Cool. Yeah, another key to Facebook ads is conversion rate optimization. Yeah, I think I mentioned this like already, but like it's just very important because if you have a website that isn't converting well and you just put more money into ads, like it's not going to lead to good performance. So if you're going to start somewhere, you really should focus first on optimizing the website and just make it as easy as possible for people to convert and just get that conversion rate up. And I just include like a quick example of what the difference could be like. So let's say you get 100 visitors with 1% conversion rate. You know, you get one purchase, and let's say that one purchase cost is $200 in revenue. But instead, let's say you have 2% conversion rate. Now you have two purchases. So basically, for the same amount of visitors and the same amount of ad spend, you basically doubled your performance just by having a 1% increase in your conversion rate. So basically, any tweaks you do to your conversion rate, even if you're slightly improving it, will make a big difference. Even if you're increasing your conversion rate by like 0.2%, that's going to make a big difference to return on money you'll get for your ads on Facebook, or basically any advertising platform. So yeah, conversion rate optimization is definitely something I would focus on. I see a lot of brands not focus on that, and their conversion rate is like very poor. And we would advise them to like, you know, fix that first, but they end up not listening to us, and they instead spend a lot of money on the ads, and it always leads to very bad performance. So the second thing to do after your website is optimized, you want to optimize your ads. So you get in Facebook, you get charged by CPM, not CPC. CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. So basically, Facebook has a cost for 1,000 impressions, which is based on the competitiveness of the market. And if there's more competition in your audience, the CPMs are going to be higher. And if there's less, it'll be lower, obviously. So basically the way to get, since you're only being charged, based on 1,000 impressions and not by every click, if you want to get lower costs, you should improve the click-through rate. That just means making more engaging ads, just improve your messaging on the ads, improve the quality of the images or the videos. Yeah.
But let's say if I'm optimizing for website visits, even that would be, charged based on CPM or?
Yep, that's all Facebook. And when I say Facebook, I always mean Facebook and Instagram, just by the way, because it's the same platform, like the advertising platform is the same. And you should be targeting, when you are onto campaigns, you should be targeting both because Facebook will self-optimize on where to place the ads. But yeah, so Facebook charges always CPM across the entire advertising platform, not CPC. And
the impressions is basically the number of people it is showing the ad to, right?
Number of just impressions alone is number of times ads is seen. Unique impressions is the number of ads that are seen by each individual person.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're charged by CPM. So if you're charged, $10 for 1,000 impressions, if you want to get the lowest, cost per click, like the lowest cost for your traffic, assuming it's good qualified traffic, you want to increase your click-through rate. Also, increasing your click-through rate will actually, so the cost of CPM isn't just based on the competitiveness of the audience. It's also based on like how good Facebook thinks your ad is. Facebook wants to show content to users that isn't like, bothering them too much. So if you have a really good engaging ad, you actually see your CPM costs go down too, and your click-through rate will go up. So it'll actually end up being just like a win-win, and you'll have low costs and end up having higher performance. Cool. Okay, just a little more on conversion optimization. Since it is so important, just make your website easy to flow, keep it simple, make it fast. I think users are very sensitive to how long in our fast-driven world, everyone wants things super fast. So there's a tool called Google PageSpeed Insights, and it'll basically go through your site, see how fast it currently is, and it'll give you recommendations on how to speed it up. And just simple things like changing the colors of the call to action button. Like, when I say call to action, I mean like add to cart button, or maybe reserve now, whatever that button is. Just simple things like changing the color can actually make a pretty big difference on your conversion rate. And I just want to get quickly into landing pages versus websites. There's a guy, Russell Brunson. He's like just an absolute marketing genius. He's the creator of ClickFunnels. It's like a marketing software. And he always says this, a confused mind always says no. And he basically likens websites to brochures. If you give someone a brochure, like they're gonna start off in the beginning and they're kind of just gonna scramble around the website. And a lot of times they just end up leaving because they just they click on, the about page, and they click on this collection page, then they click on another page, and eventually they get tired and just end up leaving. Instead, what Russell Brunson really recommends, and what works, I think, a lot better, especially for ads, is just creating a dedicated landing page. So actually what we're doing right now is we changed from having our website with all our products, and we found our best sellers and made just a single landing page just for that. So the user has the only option of adding to cart or leaving the website. You're kind of just guiding the user, either go to the next step or leave right now. And that actually ends up increasing the conversion rate because I think people just it's a lot easier for people to just be told what to do, like add to cart or just leave the site. There's no other option. Otherwise, people add to cart, then they'll start visiting other parts of your site and then visit other parts and then eventually just leave. So this way, you're just making it very clear what the flow is. Get on the page, you add to cart, and get to the next step, and maybe the next step you want to upsell them to something else, or who knows, whatever you want to do. But now you just have way more control of the flow of your traffic when you have a dedicated landing page instead of just having a general website. And yeah, I've definitely seen dedicated landing pages tend to do better for ads than just general websites. I think you could always still have a website, especially if people are searching for you organically. But when you're doing ads and you're trying to create a really well thought out funnel, landing pages are much better. Because then let's say you have the landing page and people leave it. Then you very clearly know what the problem is. Like it's something with the landing page. When you have a website, there's so many different areas that people click that it's really hard to gauge what's the reason why people are leaving. Cool. Yeah, just a little more on what good Facebook ads are. A lot of people, I think when they get into Facebook ads, especially when they have a big budget, they create these very nice, well-branded ads. They spend the money on these good videos, and they're kind of like TV-like ads. And on Facebook, that almost never does good. Like on Facebook ads, you want to just be very quick to the point, and it's called direct response ads. You want people a clear call to action. Maybe it'll be shop now or learn more. And then you have the video or the image just be very clear on what the product is, what it's offering. And it's kind of just way more straight to the point. I mean, you could also do things like, invoke curiosity, all that sort of stuff. But just ads that are kind of long, like those 1 minute branded ads, just typically never do well. You definitely want to have high quality graphics. It's very visual driven on how people respond. For videos is definitely very important, something that's tried. You don't need videos, but, especially if you have a ad account that's spending a lot of money, you definitely want to be, testing videos. Typically we say 15 to 30 seconds is the ideal for a video. If you do longer than that, people just lose interest and just leave. If you can create slideshows in Facebook, it's actually a tool within Facebook. So you just put in, a bunch of images together and then Facebook will make a slideshow out of it. Slideshows do very well too, especially for e-commerce. Just a little bit on copywriting. Copywriting is super important when you're creating Facebook ads. Just how you message to your customers is super important. Typically the first thing people see when they scroll on a Facebook ad is the image. So, you want to focus on that first. Then a lot of times it's going to be the headline. That's going to be the bold text right under the image. And then also the first sentence in the text. So you want to just really optimize those, especially when you're focusing on copywriting. Typically, if you're doing a remarketing audience, testimonials will work really well. Customer reviews to work very well. You start with the product. You talk right away. The headline can just be the product name, because they already know what the product is. They already know you, so that works well for your marketing. But when it's cold audiences, you don't want to start with the product name or who you are, because nobody knows who you are. For cold audiences, you want to speak to the desire. So just for example, if I'm selling home decor, the desire is for, especially we target a lot of
women, moms. We want them to, keep a well-organized house, like upgrade your house. That's the desire they want to do. And so so for cold audiences, we're not going to start with the name of our product because nobody knows what our product is in the beginning. I use a tool called Magisto.com. You can create videos very quickly, easily. It's only $20 a month. You kind of throw these images together, and it also has a bunch of stock images and stock videos. And it has like these AI algorithms that kind of just like create these cool effects on it like automatically. And it's a good way to just, if you want to start running video ads or any videos in general, like even on your website, it's very simple to make. They actually look pretty professional. And it's $20 a month. It's not too expensive. If you're going to hire a designer or videographer, you're going to end up spending a ton of money. And a lot of times when you spend money on like videographers or anyone like to make videos for ads, a lot of times like they don't know what a good ad is for Facebook. They'll end up making like a very good branded ad, but not a direct response ad. Cool. So a really good resource is this Facebook ads group. It has like over 100,000 people in it. Basically, if you ever have a question like anything related to Facebook, you can throw it in this group and like you're like bound to get an answer. It's a very engaged group. Tons of people in it. Tons of marketing agencies in there also trying to find clients. So be careful because there's a lot of like the marketing agency world is like filled with scammers, like people that say that they're really good at Facebook ads. They might even show you these case studies, but a lot of times they're just scams. Like these people with no experience, they're just salesmen trying to prey on clients that don't really know better. So just be careful of that. But yeah, overall, it's definitely a good resource if you have questions. Another group, ClickFunnels group. That's a group created by Russell Brunson, who created ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is just filled with like some really just like, I would say just like top-notch like digital marketing entrepreneurs. Just the whole community in ClickFunnels, it's like, yeah, it just seems like people in there are just really like driven and just like focus on building their online business. And they have a bunch of different techniques. Just an amazing group for just like any general digital marketing strategies. Really good group. So that's mostly what I had on Facebook ads. And I just wanted to just quickly get into some other digital marketing sites. Do you have any questions on Facebook ads before I jump into like SEO?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Just quick stuff on SEO. And SEO is definitely very powerful too, because once you do optimize your site and get those keywords, you're never paying for it. So every month you're going to be getting this traffic coming to your site, and it's always going to be free. A really good free tool is called Uber Suggest. It's by Neil Patel. Neil Patel is like another really good digital marketer. He has tons and tons of amazing digital marketing content on his blog. But with Uber Suggest, I actually have it open. You can basically enter a keyword. So maybe you want to enter co-working space in Goa. Oh, you want to put it to India. Hold on. Okay. Yes, so what Uber Suggest would do, there's other tools that do this too, but it would show you the volume of searches, of monthly searches that are going into the keyword. And it'll also be some other cool information. Let's see what it comes up with. So yeah, there's 320 search volume, which I think is not bad for a month. So the SEO difficulty is basically saying how difficult it is for your page to rank for this keyword. 100 is the hardest difficulty, so 13 is pretty easy. It'll even say for the top 10 pages how many backlinks they have. So a backlink is basically if another site is linking to your site, that's what a backlink is. So the key to getting higher search ranking is one, getting more backlinks, and you want to get back, the better the domain authority of the person linking to you, the better. So like the New York Times, if they link to your site, like that's like backlink gold. Like you're gonna see like your SEO improve so much because
Google basically wants to give information that is, credible. So if, other sites are linking to you, they're going to think you're more credible. So they want to show you to their users. Another thing is to optimize for the keywords you want to rank for. So if you want to rank for the keyword co-working space in Goa, you want to put those keywords in your meta tags. That's just, the meta tag is basically when you do Google search, you'll see the meta tags on the descriptions of the sites. And it's kind of just like you're telling Google what this page is about. So there's meta tags and meta headlines. For most platforms, whatever you're using, it's pretty easy to install meta tags and meta headlines. Yeah, you want to include that in those meta tags, but you also want to include it like physically, like in the page too. So maybe in your home page, you want to put somewhere co-working space in Goa, and it's throughout your site. You just want to, if you want to rank for this word, you want to include this word. And basically, you don't want to just keep repeating it over and over again, because Google's actually pretty smart. They used to be able to do that, but now Google knows people are like stuffing their sites with those keywords. So you want to just use it, more organically. Just like if you're making a blog article, for example, is another way to get higher ranking is by, if you want to create a blog article and you want the keyword you want to really target is co-working space in Goa, you would definitely mention co-working space in Goa, but then you also just want to mention other words related to co-working, because Google will actually understand those words and know that you're not just keyword stuffing, and know like those words are related to co-working space in Goa. You don't want to just keep repeating the word co-working space in Goa like 20 times in the same page. Yeah, so creating like more content is very good for SEO. If you're creating blogs about this keyword, definitely one thing I would just focus on blogs. Just always write to actually create value and not just to improve SEO. Typically, when you're actually trying to create value, that would actually end up being better, because you're going to include more organic words that are related to this. Yeah, so those are basically the two things: getting more links and including your keywords throughout your site more. You can also include tags on your images to describe what your images are. So maybe if you have a picture of a beach, you can put the tag Goa, so Google knows it's Goa. Yeah, and then so this tool will also give you keyword ideas of other keywords you might want to target for. This has no volume, but you can kind of play around with it and see different keywords that your site might be good for. It'll also give you, if you want to do paid ads, this would be the cost per click, roughly. It's definitely not going to be fully accurate, but it would be generally pretty accurate. You would pay this much per click for Google Ads. And this one, it says the pages in the top 10 generally have 2 backlinks. So that's pretty low. So that means it's pretty easy. If you want to rank for this keyword, you only need like about 2 backlinks. A way to get backlinks actually is, so you want to get do follow backlinks. Like if you're getting a link from Facebook, like on your group, it's going to be called a no follow backlink. You want to get a do follow backlink. The do follow backlink basically is what Google, if you get a do follow, that's basically you're going to increase like your SEO points, quote unquote. And there's a lot of like do follow sites that you can just basically create profiles on, like meetup.com, for example. You can get do follow backlinks. So if you just put a link, if you go to meetup.com and just put your site on there, you'll end up, link it to your site. You'll get a do follow backlink, which is good. So that's going to increase your SEO. You can just search like easy do follow backlinks to get, and it'll show you a bunch of sites where you can just create profiles and just link it to your site, and it'll actually end up being good for your overall SEO, and it'll count as a backlink. Otherwise, if you get a link from Facebook, it's a no follow backlink, so it's not going to add to your overall backlinks. Cool. Any questions on SEO? Okay, cool. Yeah, Google search ads, just really quickly. I've worked on a bunch of Google search ad campaigns too, especially for e-commerce. Typically don't do that well for e-commerce, especially when it's like competitive industries like clothing lines and stuff. There's so much competition. It's really hard to show what your product is. Like with Facebook ads, there's so much more you can do. Like you can create good videos, pique people's interest, but Google ads, it's much harder. So, but if you're like a local business or a niche business without a ton of competition, Google ads could be great for you.
So I think, especially a location business like NomadGao, Google Ads can do very well for that. And the competition is probably not too much, which, yeah, and Uber just also said it's pretty easy to win that traffic. And just the scale is limited because there's only so many times people are searching for that keyword. Whereas Facebook, you can target. The scale is unlimited because you can target so many people and you can basically influence them to buy or convert. I think Google Ads is a little bit more complicated and less user friendly in my opinion than Facebook Ads. That's just me. I've always thought that. Some people I think would think Google search ads are easier, but that's just my opinion. Just very quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
So the way I look at Google versus Facebook is really, when I think about it, the first thing I will think is whether it's a lifestyle product or a product that, that you can buy instantly. Then I think Facebook is obviously the best choice.
Sorry, actually, I'm seeing some people asked to join, and I'm just seeing that now.
Oh.
So there's 2 people. I don't know if they're there. Okay, the other person probably left.
So, and then Google works more like, Google is better for brand building, ranking higher so that when people search for something, they'll find you. Facebook is not a lot about searchability. It's about just displaying right on the face.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is Google Ads are good because, people have more higher intent. Like if they're searching for...
Alex, there is a request to join.
There's a request, okay. I just accepted it, but... Okay, we'll see if he comes back. Yeah, I just accepted, but it's not showing him. Yeah, I mean, the way I see Google Ads is, Google Ads, people who are searching have high intent. So if you're searching, for example, co-working space near me, it's very clear that they have a high intent of searching for that space. Whereas Facebook, people are just kind of mindlessly scrolling. So you have a lot more room to kind of show them an ad to make them interested. Maybe good, especially for e-commerce is great because, you have to influence them to want that. Whereas Google Ads, if they're searching for like e-commerce product, they're already looking for a product and are in market for it. That's kind of the way I see it. I think both of them are, direct response. You're trying to get people to respond immediately, whether it's on Google or on Facebook. And just with Google, just the scale is limited because there's only so many people that are searching for that product right then. Whereas Facebook, there you have the option to show them an ad to influence them to want to have that product. Whereas Google, the intent has to be there first. But I think Google Ads, especially for local businesses, are great. If people are searching for something, like maybe they're searching for restaurants near me or whatever, it's great because people are searching for it. They want it right now, and if you can show up first, you should be able to win that traffic. It also depends on there's different scores in Google Ads. Like if you have a landing page that really sucks and is very slow, Google is actually going to charge you more for every click. If you're showing up for keywords that aren't relevant, Google's going to charge you more, end up just not showing your ads. So there's a lot of different things you can do to decrease your cost on Google. Cool. Quick thing on email. Email marketing is still a really powerful tool. You can definitely get a lot of people to convert on it. Quick thing you can do is you create a pop-up on your website. Maybe you can give them an offer. Maybe just say if you want to stay updated on any news or any deals, give us your email. Usually what we do, what's pretty normal in e-commerce, is we give an offer like give your email and we'll give you 10% off code. That way, maybe they don't convert now, but maybe a week from now we can keep sending you emails and eventually maybe they'll convert. So yeah, definitely would think about including email in your strategy. it's definitely useful.
So have you seen with Facebook ads and Facebook ads coming in over last few years, have you seen the email conversions drop? Because I never opened any marketing emails,
No, I don't think, I mean, definitely if you look in the entire long span, yeah, it's probably dropped, but past few years, I don't think it's really dropped very much. Click-through rate is definitely still, it's not super high, but usually the conversion rate on email is higher than on Facebook ads. Like if you purely look at conversion rate, because email is obviously their remarketing audience, they already know about you, they clicked on your email, they're more likely to purchase. But yeah, email is definitely still a very good tool, especially if you want to mix up your offers. There's a lot of different ways to write emails. Typically, we go for try to add value to them and then end up with the offer, or just kind of sneak your offer in there. But yeah, email is definitely, I think a lot of people overlook it, but it's still a very good tool. So a new thing you can do is not that new, but instead of email, you can focus on chatbots. So basically, once someone messages you, they're subscribed to your Facebook chat. Like, so you can, there's chatbots like ManyChat is a platform. There's tons of other ones. We use ManyChat. Basically, you can message people on Messenger instead of email. There's actually, Facebook actually changed, like just recently, like a few weeks ago, made a change where you only message someone if they interacted with your page in the past 24 hours. But if they did, then you can send them like offers, send them news, send them whatever. You can create like automated flows within the Messenger chat. So you can just make your bot ask them these questions. You can even qualify them. It's really good for lead generation. Like one thing you can have your Messenger bot do, for example, is maybe you have a post and anyone who comments on it, your bot can automatically send them a message and then create a whole flow and maybe qualify them to see if they're the right prospect. And then the bot will actually, you can put a link on there to send them to your website to the next stage. So yeah, messenger bots are actually very kind of relatively new, but not too new, but they're definitely effective. Only thing with messenger bots is you don't own those people. Like, if just for example, like a month ago, Facebook changed the policy and now they're not nearly as effective. Whereas emails, you kind of always own the emails, If you start to keep sending spam, yeah, that's going to affect your deliverability rates. But otherwise, you kind of always own those emails, and you can always market to them. Cool. But yeah, like just basically to answer your question, email is still very useful. I've seen a lot of brands end up getting like 30% of the revenue from email alone. So definitely still a great tool. Yeah, this is the last slide, just basically just general statement, like digital marketing landscape is always changing. Like maybe 5 to 10 years ago when Facebook started, you could probably have like terrible ads just with the static image and still end up getting just an amazing return just because there's less people paying for the ads. It was less competitive. Now people expect, just because it's more competitive, people see ads way more, they will only stop to see your ad, click on your ad, or if it's like a compelling ad with good graphics, good video, all that kind of stuff. One thing, TikTok's growing crazy fast, and like this goes in line with how digital marketing is always changing. TikTok could be a great gold mine for if you want to get cheap influencers. I don't think for NomadGao making sense, but for like e-commerce, for example, we sell a lot of our products there. We mostly sell them to moms, but a lot of the products are for kids. So we're actually testing a strategy now where we're going to reach out to some influencers. And since most of these are just like kids, teenagers, like some of them have there's so many kids now with millions and millions of followers on TikTok. And they're kids, they have no idea what their followers are worth. So they're a lot more open to if they offer them like a sponsorship deal where you just pay them maybe like $50. If you want to get like 1 million impressions on Facebook, it's probably going to cost you like $20,000. But if you go to a TikTok influencer and tell them I'll give you $100, like we can reach a million people. So could be a gold mine right now. Just how like Instagram was a gold mine for if you're doing influencer marketing when Instagram first started. People that did that made a ton of money. Now it's a bit more saturated where influencers kind of know how much they're worth. There's a bunch of tools that can help influencers find brands to sponsor them. But TikTok is kind of still like very new. It's kind of the Wild West, so you can just spark up any deal you want. and it could be very cheap. So we're testing that strategy now. But yeah, just like digital marketing is always changing, so there's always going to be opportunities to move your marketing budget into, or move your focus onto. I think Facebook will always be around, but you never know too. Just a good site to always be updated on marketing stuff. Marketingland.com has a bunch of information, bunch of just articles on up-to-date marketing stuff. Yeah, that's basically what I have. Any questions?
Hello, Alok. Thanks for joining in. Any questions?
Maybe he's joined late and didn't
Hi,
realize.
hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I just joined halfway through, and my Wi-Fi is not doing great. So, but I'm interested more on learning on social media marketing, and I'm basically a life coach and a business coach. So I want to start a campaign now because most of the people are
Interesting.
working from home, and there's a lot of material I have which can help people how to recover after this economic loss, or if the people are feeling lonely, or there are a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for now a campaign. So that's what I was thinking. Which one is a good? Uh, Whether it has to be a multi-prong attack like Google and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, or only Facebook or Google. So that was my real worry.
Yeah, that's definitely for coaching. It's Facebook and Instagram ads are very effective. You should join this group called ClickFunnels. I put the link in the slides. I can send it to you too, but it's a really amazing Facebook group that has a ton of other digital marketers, and a lot of their focus, are selling like coaching services, selling some like educational services. Definitely questions on there.
I had done last month a sales training, and I did a lot of advertisement through Google, this Facebook ad. It was a learning by experience. I spent a lot of money. So initial, I was not getting much response, but the second campaign which I did, it was well. I got some 10, 12 participants who paid and joined my group. But still, there are some 500 odd people. They have registered mm, for the seminar, but when the thing come, most of the people in Facebook, they just register. They given the mail ID, they've given everything, they ask question, but the moment the question of payment comes, when most of the people just wriggle out. So it is not as good what you say it should have been, or what I heard. Even as when I spoke to this is my first hand experience on this, when I spoke to the people who joined my seminar, so they were more impressed with me when they saw my Google rating, and Google is talking about me, and they can search me in a Google. So now my takeaway from that campaign is, if you want to make your name, or if you want to do something, only one medium is not sufficient. You have to go everywhere, and the Facebook is giving uh, even call to action, and the people who are giving all the details, they want to join. But the moment something, yes, if you do a free campaign, hundreds of people, free seminar or something, hundreds of people will come. So I was looking for more from the revenue point of view, which is the channel which is the best, where you can have a paid clients coming up to you.
Yeah, good question. I'll definitely say focus is definitely better than trying to be everywhere. Facebook and Instagram, has almost all users. So Facebook and Instagram is really all you need. Definitely you can do Google Ads too, but it's really not just about the Facebook ads too. It's also about, your landing page, wherever they're clicking on the ad and wherever they're going, the page that you're sending them to. That's also very, very important. That's where you put information on, why you're credible, that, other people are talking about you, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Facebook ads will definitely have your audience in there. Will definitely have your people in there, and I've seen a lot of coaches have a lot of success with Facebook ads.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was a nice interaction. Thank you.
Something else to think about Facebook ads. So you should run, if you're going to start, running Facebook ads, you should at least set up, remarketing ads. And those are people that have already maybe engaged with your page. Maybe they visited your site. Maybe they clicked on going to event. Now you can show them another ad to basically make sure that they actually want to purchase. Because a lot of people, they'll visit your site, have interest, but then they'll leave and forget about you. So with remarketing ads, if you're going to put any money to work, the best way to get the most return on your money will be to put it on people that already know about you. It's called remarketing, instead of showing it to brand new people.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the group ClickFunnels I talked about, there's a ton of coaches in there, and I'm sure you can learn a lot about digital marketing from that group, because a lot of it is focused on selling educational courses. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram has all your people. Google Ads, I think, just the top of what I'm thinking is Google Ads is probably going to be competitive and expensive, but maybe you can try Google Ads, but it really depends how competitive it is. You would have to basically do research on the cost per click for Google Ads. There's a tool here called Uber Suggest, where you can type in the keyword. Maybe it's like life. What was it? Fitness coaching that you're doing, or life coaching? Well, if it's life coaching, you can search and so with this tool you can see what the cost is in India, and just in general in India, what the cost per click is. So this is the cost per click. It's about medium difficulty, meaning there's like there's a medium amount of competition in there. The search volume is pretty decent. It has a decent amount of people searching for it. But yeah, so you can use this tool. Maybe you want to test something more specific, like life coaching for men. If you don't have a ton of budget, you want to target more of the narrow keywords, because there's likely going to be less competition. This has no search volume. But yeah, this is a good tool if you do want to do Google Ads. Because the good thing with Google Ads is when someone's searching for life coaching, it means they want a life coach. It's very clear they've already expressed that they want a life coach. So now when they click on your website, your website has to do a good enough job to explain why you're the right coach. Whereas Facebook, you're targeting people that may not even know that they need a life coach, may not even understand the value of a life coach. So your first job is to first explain to them that they need a life coach, and then once they understand that, they'll go to you as a life coach. But it's still very, very powerful. If you can do that on Facebook, it's very, very powerful. And the good thing about Facebook is it's kind of unlimited to the amount of people you can reach. Where with Google Ads, there's only a certain amount of people searching for life coaching. Yeah, the thing about Facebook ads, you want to have good images, good videos, and then the really important thing is the page that you're sending them to. It's called the landing page. You want that to be very well optimized, and you really want to sell yourself on the landing page. The only point of the ad is to get them on your website. And we talked about some other stuff on this Facebook ads, things you could do, like lookalike audiences. Like if you already have a certain amount of people that have been on your website or purchased from you, you can create an audience based on that, and that'll be very powerful. Those are called lookalike audiences. And yeah, you want to optimize your conversion event. for what you want. So maybe if you want someone to purchase, you want your Facebook ads to optimize for the purchase. That'll make a big difference too. So you said you've already tested Facebook ads? Dr. Alex? I think he's, I guess he's done it. Okay. Okay, you're on mute.
We'll have recording, so we'll
Okay.
want to listen to the recording, and we can.
Okay.
And
Cool.
maybe you can give your LinkedIn profile link also, so that if somebody goes through the, we are building the funnel for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll throw that in. Okay. Cool.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Yeah. No problem. Okay. I'll talk to you then.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.